Alrighty. Some Rant and Chill here. I have some time to do this thing. Let's get into Destiny's Child and polygamy, open marriage, and how that's just a bunch of nonsense and it doesn't work. We'll get into that. And you know what? I got some stats to back me up. I got some studies to back me up on this one. I'm gonna need that. Do that. And in case Steven ever hears this. Steven, I'm not interested in debating you. I don't care about debating manlets. Rule, if I'm going to debate someone, they need to be able to reach the kitchen counter without needing a little step stool. Okay? Need to be able to reach the bathroom sink to wash their hands without a step stool. Oh, looks like I'm buffering. Again. Oh, my Lord. This is horrible. I do need to take care of that stuff. Yeah. But like I said, my rule about debating people is I'm only going to debate them if they can reach the bathroom sink to wash their hands without needing a little step stool. Okay. Open marriages fell. They do. You can just Google it. You can Google it. Like, first off, less than 10% of Americans are engaged in some sort of open marriage or open relationship, if you will. That number kind of fluctuates. Sometimes more, sometimes less, depending on how they do the survey. But it's about 10%. Okay. And as far as open marriages go, according to some studies here, 92% failure rate. Unless these studies are flawed and they're just failures in themselves. I don't like how it's fluctuating like that. I want a strong, healthy stream. That's messed up. I don't know why it drops frames like that every now and then. Like it was green, steady, and then boom. Anyway, why are we talking about Destiny? Because not everything is fine and okay in Destiny's life, as you could probably imagine. If you don't know anything about Destiny, I'm sure you do. He's a very popular individual, a Twitch streamer, got famous. Streamer went StarCraft. He played a lot of StarCraft, and you've probably seen him in a bunch of debates, debating a bunch of nonsense. He's popular for defending incest. Yeah. Let's look at this. Destiny is a manlet who is pro checking out 16-year-olds. Destiny believes 16-year-olds are hot. That's something he has said before. Destiny also is pro-incest. It sees nothing wrong, morally wrong or ethically wrong with butt fucking your 16-year-old daughter. He sees nothing wrong with that. He would defend that position. If Destiny had a daughter, I don't know if he does. If the court were ever to hear his positions on things, he probably wouldn't have that kid. I'm just saying. You know, people like Destiny like to be all big brain and smug and be like, you show me where it's ethically wrong or where the morality says I can't do this thing. It's like, you know, you present that argument before a judge and you watch what happens, Destiny. You fucking idiot. Because you don't need a fucking you don't need a fine in the Bible or whatever book or whatever where you get your moral compass from to go, oh yeah, it's wrong to fuck my daughter in the ass. Okay. But yeah, Destiny's pro that. I don't know how this guy has a following. He has a following because I guess people think he's big brain and they love him. And everything he says is gold. Everything he says is A-okay. Look at that. You got a bunch of people looking up to this manlet. They can't even look up. They have to look down. Destiny's so freaking short. He can cosplay as the fucking imp on Game of Thrones. What the fuck is his name? What the fuck is his name? You know what I'm talking about. He doesn't eat. Destiny, I would debate you, but I don't debate midgets. I read somewhere that midgets don't have a soul. And that explains the way you are. But I do kind of like Destiny in some ways. I like it when he debates people against like Vosh and tells BreadTube to put their money where their mouth is and put up or shut up about some of the stuff they do, which is hilarious and on point. People like Vosh, they grift. They take money from the plebs, talking all sorts of commie talk, praising communist systems or whatever. But while they have the money to actually try out some of these systems and implement some sort of change, they would rather not. They would rather just take more money from the plebs. Like, comment, and subscribe. That's right. Like, comment, and subscribe, my friends. All right. What else can we say about Destiny in the beginning before we get into this? Oh, the reason I'm doing this stream is because I overheard, was listening to a stream, one of the recent ones where he's talking to some guy named Hypocrite and some chick. I don't know too much about them. But they're talking about open relationships and how in Destiny's position was that open relationships are A-okay and they work just fine. They're fine and dandy. And no problems there. No more problems than you would expect in a traditional in a monogamous relationship. Already, there's the rub, right? No more problems than you'd get in a monogamous relationship. But look, we're not going to lie here. Monogamous relationships are tough. Plenty of people break up for various reasons, due to finances, due to cheating, due to like infidelity, finances, things like that are different. They just grow apart, things like that. Okay, maybe political differences. That happens. Monogamy is tough. It is so fucking tough. One of the big breakers of monogamy is infidelity, but also with open relationships, you also get jealousy. You also get boundary issues, violating trust when it comes to certain issues, certain limits that they might put on the openness of the relationship. To think that an open relationship doesn't have issues of jealousy, of a betrayal of trust, is to be completely, ignorant about the whole thing. Of course it is. In a polygamous relationship, you are inviting more people into your relationship. Okay, it's messy with just two people. It's messy with just two. Imagine having three people in that relationship, a trio, a triple, or whatever they want a cute name they want to put on it. Imagine having that. Imagine the sort of drama in that lifestyle, in that household. Oh my God. So imagine you have just three people in a relationship, a throuple. I think they might want to call that. You have to make sure that those three people are communicating with you and being honest with you, being forthcoming with you, being transparent, and giving you what you want out of a relationship. And you, of course, have to give to them what they expect in a relationship, right? It's a give and take. That's just three people. I don't see how that's any easier than two, other than you get the, okay, we have additional person we can all sort of like have sex with in case we want to have additional. But you're entering the whole thing of, okay, so it's okay to kind of add more into the sex stuff. So why don't we just go out and add another person, a fourth person, and then a fifth person, then a sixth person, and then really what you're doing is you're saying you're in a relationship and you love each other, but you're also having orgies with everybody. You're pretty much running train and just swinging left and right. I was saying that polygamy is not some wonderful thing. It doesn't. The success rate with it is pretty low. Then again, of course, the amount of people who really get into it and openly admit that they get into it is pretty low too. I mean, the sample size is going to be really tiny. We're talking about like about 10%, maybe 12%, and depending on what study you look at, depending on where you get your information from. But if you take from that size, okay, let's say 10% of Americans are in some sort of open relationship, okay, and then within that 10% of the population, within that maybe if it doesn't take much for the numbers to be skewed in any sort of way. Like it could be like a handful of fells. It could be like hundreds of fells or whatever within that population. And it would be like, okay, well, it doesn't look good, right? And of course, understand this, like I said, I know monogamous relationships fail as well. Of course, that. I mean, you get people who cheat. But you also get that with, according from what I'm reading here with these studies and with, these psych studies, that one of the big issues here, even with open relationships, is jealousy. How could they have jealousy if they're in an open relationship? If they give each other a pass and to have sex with other people, how could there be jealousy? Oh, because we're human. And it's like, okay, how many times have you fucked that other person? How many times have you fucked that other person? Do you love that other person? Are you developing feelings for the other person? Yeah, I don't see poly as a future. Poly is definitely not the future. Not the future at all. No. That makes no sense. There's a study here I was looking at. It's like, I'll look right here. Talking about one of the things I looked at was happiness. And even their own study, compared to, those that are in a monogamous relationship compared to non-monogamous relationships. Monogamous relationship people, they cited more happiness, satisfaction overall. Okay, all right. And it looked like in this study, in the way they worded it, was like, okay, so relationship happiness and sexual satisfaction. Both open relationships of NCNM participants reported lower levels of happiness in primary. So people that were in the open relationship group and people that were in the non-consensual, non-monogamy participants, so people that were just cheating, reported lower happiness in primary relationship than monogamous participants. Poly's not the future. Poly's not the future. It is a short-term thing. You have so many other variables because you have additional people in there. What's the longitude of this lifestyle? How long is it going to last, right? It sounds cute. It sounds fun when you're like in your 20s or in your 30s. But when you're in your 40s and 50s and it's time to settle down, it's past time to settle down, honestly. Time to settle down, and it's what are y'all doing, right? And then you start getting kids in the mix, someone getting pregnant, God forbid someone getting pregnant in the mix, and not knowing who the daddy is. Oh, God, that's horrible. Who wants to be in that situation? Who wants to be in that situation where there's other dudes in the mix and you don't even know who's the dad? Who's doing that? Who thinks that's the future? Who really wants that as the future? If you're a man, you want that for the future, go fuck yourself. Honestly. You must have no self-respect for yourself. Man. Yeah, I want a future where I don't even know who the dad is to my child. You better get that DNA test right away. Better be done at the hospital. And you're not the father. Good. I want it certified. I don't want to pay child support. I'm not the father. I don't want to be wrapped up in this. But we're together. We're a unit. Nope. You're not supposed to get pregnant. And now you're pregnant. That changes things. Oh, man. Yeah. Mom's right. Mentioned in the chat. It's a just another way to attack the family unit. Yeah, I can see that. I can definitely see that. I mean, monogamous relationships, well, look, They're monogamous relationships are very difficult because we are hardwired, men and women. We have certain primitive desires. Okay, we do. Obviously, duh. You don't need a study to prove that. The straying eye, the seeing things, and you might actually fall out of love with the person that you're with. You might spend so less time with them that you actually fall out of love, and you spend more time with people at work or whoever, some people at college or some other friends, and you might actually start developing a more emotional connection, a connection with somebody else, and it's like you start exploring that. Like, it's messy. Those situations should be handled, I would say, with open communication. And let me tell you from experience, I say this with experience, this thing should be handled with open communication. You talk to your wife or your fiance or girlfriend, whoever it is. Maybe you might need to get a counselor involved. Okay. What you don't do is just don't start like, cheating and fucking behind the back, whatever, betraying trust. You would even do that in an open relationship. I think even relationships, they have a discussion, they have a talk about what's happening. And if they don't, that's when you see a breakdown. And where the Destiny's Child part comes in here is there's something that Melina said that was interesting in one of her some live stream with Bob7, whoever that guy is. That what if she gets pregnant? What if she gets knocked up by some dude and she decides to keep it? That could be a future. That could be a future. Oh my God, that would be so hilarious. Oh my God, that would be funny. That would be so freaking hilarious there. Yeah, but I was surprised because even in open relationships, they tend to have certain boundaries, sort of certain rules on how to go about things, usually for safety and for trust issues, right? That makes sense. Makes a lot of sense there. Like when you start adding other people into the mix, it's not good. I don't see how it increases happiness. Some surveys though, or some of these studies show that people in open relationships said, hey, they have happier sex, or they have more sex, obviously, more sex. But then, of course, then there's studies that say, well, actually, people that are in a monogamous relationship have more satisfying sex. They just have a different view on sex, a different look at that. Like they're not exploring various other things. I guess you can say it's very vanilla, but it also sounds very stable, Like, of course, like I said, I'm looking at studies here that say, open marriages seem to have more happiness, but also one of the studies says open marriage has 92% failure rate. What's going on? So you're happy in the moment while you're swinging, but something happens when you're swinging, and I don't know. Maybe got too emotionally attached to somebody. Maybe somebody got pregnant. Yeah, this cigar is breaking. This cigar is horrible. The humidor probably did not do too well during the freeze. This thing's a fucking disaster. I'm looking at it, I'm like, this is shit. This tobacco is not packed in all that well. Yeah, so I mean, what I get from this, my takeaway is whether you're in an open relationship or you're in a non-open relationship, a monogamous relationship, communication is very important. Being transparent, being forthcoming, and being able to build trust and maintain trust with those that you're supposed to love, that's important there. That's important. Now, there's one thing I want to say about Des. Oh, let me play the clip. This video is hilarious. This video is kind of funny. I did mention the stream where I Hypocrite and the chick was talking to Destiny, and I think someone mentioned that I Hypocrite looked like an idiot in that stream. I guess he did. I mean, he sounds even slower than me. That's pretty bad. That's really bad. Oh no. The part I had a problem with that was when Destiny said that, I guess, shaming a child for masturbating is child abuse. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? What? I had a huge problem with that because I work with that stuff, with child abuse stuff. And it's like, no, like telling your kid to stop masturbating is not child abuse. Okay. Like if my son becomes discovering porn mags, he's fucking jacking off all the time in his room. Yeah, I'm gonna tell him, dude, knock that shit off. Stop fucking masturbating all the goddamn time. Jesus Christ. Spend the extra minute in the bathroom and be done. Extra 2 minutes. I don't know. Anyway, let me play this here. It doesn't take much. It doesn't take much. It's just right into it. Boom, you get it. And okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1.
I just don't want people to be pushy, and I don't want people to be smelly.
Oh, let me back it up a little bit.
So,
is Destiny's fiance talking to this guy named Bob7? I don't even know who this guy is.
You know, it doesn't take a lot to get into my pants. I just don't want people to be pushy, and I don't want people to be smelly.
So, say if at TwitchCon.
So it doesn't take a lot to get in Melina's pants. Just don't be pushy, don't be smelly. This is Destiny's fiance. It doesn't take much to get in her pants. Oh my god. People could just be running train on this girl. Running train, and Destiny's fine with that. Cum dumpster. Oh my god, the neighborhood cum dumpster. As long as they're not smelly, that's fine.
All your viewers are interested. We weed out the smelly ones. We weed out the pushy ones. We have a test to...
Yeah.
And now they could just, all right, this is your turn. Step up to the plate. Yeah. As long as you want, this is yours.
I could have an orgy. Like, fine. If they just, like, are not smelly, and if they're...
I could not... yeah, I would have problems. If this was like my wife saying this, I'd be like, well, now we're going to have problems. That's no bueno there. No, not good at all. What? What are we doing? I don't know what to mean. It just seems so goofy. Seems so like, all right. Well, what is sex in the relationship then? Is sex just, it's not love making. It's just raw animal beast sex. Okay. So you guys are just raw animal sex. You guys are pretty much like 9 Inch Nails closer. You guys are just fucking to feel you in the inside. I want to fuck you like an animal. That's what's going on. That's what's going on in their life. All right. But then I saw an interview with Melina with it was an interview or something. Some guy, I guess he's a psychologist or I don't know. It looked like it was a therapy session where Melina was crying. Not really crying because of Destiny, but she was just, it sounded like she had some issues with, well, it's just fears and worries about getting married. I mean, she's engaged with them, and she is married to him or engaged so that she can come to America legal and have the green card and all that stuff. Of course, then she also says she loves him and all that stuff. Okay, maybe. I don't want to say much about that. I don't know. This is what she says. She says that. Okay, all right. But this is hilarious stuff.
They're not pushy. It's pretty easy. They have like their thing going. Maybe like a personality.
See, and you personally, you're looking for nothing out of this other than the experience. Now, how would you feel if I set up this situation, but now I'm making maybe it's like $100 fee, to
Bob Seven's gonna pimp out Melina. Oh, Destiny's fiance is gonna get pimped out. There's something she says here though in the stream. As long as something about her getting pregnant. Let's see. I remember she talks about what she has some drink in her hand. Where was it? I think it's over here. Let's see.
You know, you remind me of him a lot.
That's not good. That's really that was offensive.
You're like
so after I just described him, friend. Think about that, Melina. What do you? Why would you say?
And by the way, we'll get to some more stuff. Apparently, there was a conversation between Bob Seven and Melina that caused some ruffles with Destiny in this community, all that stuff. Where apparently, I have the screenshot where Melina was complaining that there's some issues between her and Destiny. That when Destiny talks to her, it's constantly like a debate, which I can imagine so. Destiny seems like the sort of guy, because he's short. Short people have the sort of temper. Like look at that. It is what it is. It's a fact. No, but just the way he engages with everybody, it's like everything's a freaking debate with Destiny. You know, debate me, bro. It's like, no, I don't really care. But you have Melina complaining about that. Everything's a debate with them. I always have to debate with them. And some texts that make it seem like she's concerned that maybe Destiny might be filling for other people. There's that insecurity when it comes to open relationships, which is going to happen. It's duh. It's obvious. Am I taking call-ins? Discord is open. I suppose it can. What's on your mind, Dark Ninja? What's on your mind?
Say that. I just said to you.
You are. You're very, very, very.
But you have to understand that was always going to be offensive. I just described him as the loser ex-boyfriend, and now you're saying, yeah, you're.
So context. I skipped ahead because there's something she says about if she gets knocked up. I believe it's over here. I think it's in this timestamp.
Like him.
Yeah, like you live with your parents. You're the way you are. There's only one thing that could make me
Okay, here we go.
Consider breaking up, and that is if he makes a crazy person pregnant.
Okay, back to the thing that would make her consider breaking up with Destiny, and that is if he makes a crazy person pregnant.
Breaking up, and that is if he makes a crazy person pregnant. I think that's fair.
Does he take measures to
I think he feels the way, like, if there's a crazy person making me pregnant, I'm pretty sure, and I would keep it. I think that's a deal breaker.
So if someone were to knock up Melina and she were to keep it, she may keep it. I don't know. It sounds like she would keep it. It would cause some issues. And if Melina's like, hey, it doesn't take much to get in my pants. I mean, like, you just have to be not smelly and not pushy. And hey, you ask and be like, hey, yeah, you smell pretty good. Let's fuck. The kids at her high school must have loved her. That's all I'm going to say, man. She must have been the most popular girl in school.
Is that why you haven't met Grosscore yet?
Do you think Grosscore would make me pregnant?
I think he might try.
And the rest of this
Why
is just,
do you have such a
this
thing
drama
with
stuff.
Grosscore?
That's the thing, too. As someone who's in a monogamous relationship, looking at this stuff, looking especially at the behind-the-scenes drama that's leaked out, of course, in the open, it's like it seems so much like high school fucking girls or high school relationships. It's like, are y'all grown-ass adults? Or like what's going on here? Like, you guys seem like you're like in all this freaking drama. Because someone's sleeping with someone else, or someone lied about somebody else, and you could see this. There's other Twitch people that talk about how Destiny and Melina all constantly complain about how they keep on running into crazy people. Crazy people. I mean, if they keep on running into crazy people that cause all this drama, then maybe they may be the crazy people. Now, there's a not so fun part I need to talk about. A not so fun thing I need to talk about. Okay. There's something else that gets overlooked with Destiny. I overlooked this too. This caught me. This probably caught you. It probably slipped by. I mean to say. So, when you get in relationship drama, things get leaked out. And Destiny had some relationship drama with Anna Friels. Anna Friels was one of his squeezes, I suppose. I don't know. I can't keep count of how many squeezes he has. So Anna Friels, I don't know too much about her at all, other than this, really, that she was in a relationship with Destiny, and she is, I guess, at school to become a therapist, and she found out that Destiny has a dark secret of having choked his ex-wife. That's true. Destiny choked his ex-wife. That is true. He claims it's self-defense. Now, as someone who works with women that they get abused, how the fuck do you say choking is in self-defense? How in the world do you say choking is in self-defense? You can restrain in self-defense. You can grab the arm and put it behind their back and restrain them in self-defense. That's a self-defensive thing, you know. But even as a guy, you probably just want to avoid all that. But choking? What? Who here in the chat believes that choking is self-defense? There's no way. There's no freaking way. Why did you choke out your wife? It was self-defense, man. She was coming at me with a knife, so I just choked her out. Could have, like, I don't know, like ran away or disarmed the knife, or like what? That doesn't make any sense, because if he was to choke her while she had a knife, she could just stab. I was choking. But no, of course, that personal drama gets leaked out. I think that there kind of shows content of character. That's important. That's important. And I'm not making this up. I'll show you this. I'm not making it up. Here's part of the log here, okay? It looks like a bunch of text, Not being super fancy. You know where I get my content. You know where a lot of us get our content from. Shit. On the farms. Yeah. I mean, Anna Friels, my friend sent me an extremely disturbing clip of you talking about how you had to choke your ex-wife. Fucking attempted murder? How the fuck do you choke someone out of self-defense? And Destiny would say, oh, my ex and I fought all the time. It was always in self-defense. I had to call the police. Stop. You don't choke somebody out in self-defense. You don't. He does mention his weight. Someone mentioned little man in the chat. He does mention his weight. He says, I had to call the police to get her to stop attacking me. You're so unbelievably out of line in this message. It makes me sad to think you're going to have patience in the real world. You should be ashamed of this message. Look, shaming her for rightly so pointing out, hey, choking your ex-wife was not in self-defense. There's no way that was. And this is coming from someone who has worked a job where he was attacked on the daily basis. I couldn't choke out a client. What? You imagine if, granted, my clients were adolescents, so they were much smaller than me, but there were a few that are big, some big kids. I say big, I mean like, let's see, there's a 300-pound black woman. I say woman. She was only 14, but she was taller than me, 400 pounds. Like, we called her the bear because she would rip out electrical outlets with her bare hands. And I'm not even making that up. I am not making that up. That happened. Anyway, she would come at us and try to attack us on the daily basis. I couldn't just choke her. I couldn't put my hands on her neck and choke her and call that self-defense. What? That'd be child abuse. If my wife were to come at me with a chongla and try to hit me with that, I couldn't choke her. What? That's domestic violence. Anna Frills goes on to say, holy shit, how dare you defend choking somebody out and still think you're the victim? I was going to work with violent offenders, my dude. You can tell she's been hanging out with Destiny with that whole my dude thing. My dude. You think as a therapist I'm supposed to be cool with a guy claiming self-defense when he choked out his ex and nearly killed her? Destiny goes on to say, it's so funny because I remember earlier when I told you, this sounds like him too, how he talks. And it's so funny because I remember earlier when I told you parts of the word you were saying emotional abuse was more severe, and now you're completely flipped. Oh, you're insanely biased. Laugh out loud. Ha ha ha. What the fuck is wrong with you? Emotional abuse causes more long-term damage than average physical abuse. Yeah, but choking out is considered severe physical abuse. He just bring up the weight thing. He says, she weighed like 50 more pounds than me. Destiny, I know you're weak. I know you're teeny tiny. You have the frame of a diabetic 14-year-old kid. You do. And I've seen that in person. Oh, and it broke my heart when that little kid was trying to create a scene I used to work at a psychiatric facility. When he tried, this 14-year-old, extremely diabetic one, he would try to flip out because he saw the other clients flip out and he saw what happens. But what he did, he was so weak he couldn't even pick up a chair to throw it. I looked at him, I was like, bro, you don't want to do this. Like, I'm not gonna restrain you. Man, you couldn't even pick up a paper airplane. All right, man. Like, how about you just go to your room and we talk about how it sucks how your parents just left you here. How about we do that, okay? But with that said, Destiny, you can't just choke someone out. Like you gotta be able. Oh my god! If you can't restrain, get a taser. Tase. Get some bear mace. Mace your wife. Mace your ex-wife. I don't know. But you're gonna choke him out. All right. That's so sad. So freaking sad. How was I supposed to restrain her? She weighs 50 more pounds than me. Are you effing serious? So you had to choke her out. Now, as much as I disavow domestic violence, I have to call it his ex-wife. I don't even know who she is. How the fuck do you get choked out by Destiny? There's things you could do while you're getting choked out. You don't like fighting techniques. You don't even... Okay, that was weird. Weird glitch. Maybe we'll talk about Destiny. I don't know. But yeah, there's things you could do when someone's choking you out. Very basic thing. One thing you can do, if you don't know any techniques or whatever, simplest thing you can do is gouge your freaking eyes with your thumbs. Take your thumbs, put pressure on their eyes. They're going to stop. Hopefully he stops before his eyes pop out, right? But he will probably stop. He'll probably let go. Yeah. So that's something that I overlooked I didn't realize. Oh, I'm crying. I'm thinking about it. I'm laughing so much. I totally missed that. I didn't know that Destiny has a history of domestic violence, choking out women like that. That's not a good look. With the combination things, dad and the stance on incest and just checking out 16-year-old girls is fine. All that stuff. That's none of that is kosher. None of that is fine. I don't know what the fuck. Big brain individual there. And go on to say that open marriages are fine or open relationships are fine. That they're not as bad as let's say monogamous relationships, which monogamous relationships can suck. Come on, we know it. Relationships in general can suck. Right? Everything's good when it's great. Oh, when it's good, it's great. But all of a sudden, when you get that betrayal of trust, and that's what it's going to be even with non-monogamous relationships and open relationships, when they betray that trust, whatever the limitations are, whatever the boundaries are, whatever the unwritten rule is that you agree upon, maybe it's assumed, maybe it's not assumed, maybe you talked about it before. Usually it's assumed, though. I mean, how often do people actually really sit down and talk about the rules and expectations? I don't, because monogamous, it's assumed that, hey, you're not sticking your dick in anything else. Okay. You're not flirting with anybody else. Okay. You're committed. When you make that mistake, you own it and you atone for that sin and you make things better. But open relationships, I guess they do talk about that. I don't know. Do they? Yeah, relationships suck in general. But at the same time, though, you can find people that are in monogamous relationships that are happy. Of course, sure. Can you find people that are in poly relationships that are happy? Sure, that happens too. That happens. The big question is not whether or not they're happy, but how long do they last? Sure, yeah, in monogamous relationships or marriages, there's a lot of divorces happen. And the open marriage part, they get divorced too. They end in divorce as well. Okay. Maybe they start swinging and things are fun for a little while and they spice it up with that. But then even with the swinging, with inviting new people over into their world, into their relationship, it complicates things and things get more complicated. Other interests start happening. Personalities clash. Jealousy comes in. It's a messy thing. It's a freaking drama. It's a soap opera. Something I wouldn't of. Oh my God. I do not want my life to be consumed with that drama. Maybe I'm just a simple man, but it's like having one woman is drama enough. I could not imagine being in multiple relationships like that. No. Especially the upkeep. Oh shit. Oh my God. I'm bad at remembering to buy my wife things on, let's say, birthdays and anniversaries and stuff like that. I'm horrible with that. I'm like your stereotypical basic dude or whatever, the simple man. Shit. I have to remind myself to do right on that. Can you imagine 2 women? Fuck. I'd have two chicks mad at me at the same time. Who wants that? So that pretty much, I think, covers what I wanted to talk about here. Destiny's Child. What's going to happen when Melina gets knocked up? What are the chances that happens? I mean, are they just using the pull? I'm guessing they take safety precautions. I don't know. I'm curious how long the Destiny Melina marriage thing is going to last. I'm curious about that. That's maybe it does. Maybe it doesn't. And that's like just internet tabloid shit. right there. You know, that's what that is. How much I care about that? Not as much. What I cared more about was the bigger question here about how you guys feel about non-monogamous relationships. And let me put that question to you guys before I wrap this up. How do you guys feel about that? You feel that which one's better? Which better overall, monogamy or non-monogamy? Destiny's a stripper name. Not true. Isn't Destiny's a girl name? It's like a little girl's name. Jordan Peterson. Or Jesse. No, sorry, not Jordan Peterson. Jesse. I don't know how I got them mixed up. Someone says absolutely. Now, someone asked callers. I think his name was Ninja. I asked if there was a reason why. I mean, if you guys would have called in and talk about it, that's fine. And I put that out there. And usually nothing happens because Discord is what it is. And, you know. But if you guys want to call in and get, offer your 2 cents about the whole thing, air your opinion, that's fine. I'm good with that. Beta. Close out all these studies here. I wasn't making it up. I did look at stuff. I found this to be interesting. This one just general websites to kind of put all the little stats together. They kind of sort of cite it. Make everything look nice. 29% of millennials believe that marriage and children should be a social priority. Okay. Open marriage statistics suggest that 80%, 90% of people in open marriages felt happier after they started swinging and engaged in swinging. One thing I'll tell you, say anything about how long they last. They don't say that. European open marriage statistics show that C&M people, that's consensual non-monogamy, so open relationship, open marriage people, are less satisfied with their sexual life than people in monogamous relationship. See, this is interesting. So this is saying that people that are in open marriage or open relationships are less satisfied with their sex life than compared to people in monogamous relationships. Because sex with strangers, man, I don't know, one night stands and all, they suck. I mean, the second time, third time, it gets better. But like, if you don't know the person's body, you don't really know what they like, what they don't like, and all this stuff. It's gonna suck. It's just like you're trying it out. You're testing it. You're getting things revved up, but you're not really in it. Not really enjoying it. Besides, sex with strangers, like, you don't even know the people, the person. It's empty. To me, that's how I feel. I look at it. I've done that. Have I hired hookers before? I've done that before, and it was empty. There was nothing to it, and a waste of money. I was like, I could have just watched porn, jerked off, coomed a little. I could have just done neither, Could have just went to a bar and picked up a chick. Could have just fired up Tinder and looked for a chick that's open. I could have looked for Melina because I wasn't smelly at the time. I wasn't pushy. I'm not pushy. Let's see. Canadians in their 20s and 40s are most likely to be in an open marriage. Statistics show. Oh, is that true? Well, I don't know about. now when I talk to Canadian guests, I'm going to ask them, are you in an open marriage? I don't think that's interesting. We'll see about that. Demographics showed that other non-Hispanic individuals were more likely than Caucasians to report open marriages. I like how they put non-Hispanic. This is important here. This is important. Demographics show that other non-Hispanic individuals, being like Black, Asian, are more likely than Caucasians to report open relationships. You know why Hispanics don't report open relationships? Dude, like, it is not a cliche. It's not a stereotype that the Hispanic household is very, very traditional. It is very close. It is like, no. Like, it of course, I mean, don't they have problems with cheating? Oh, they do. They do. But let me tell you something. If you're dating a Hispanic chick, if you're engaged or married to a Hispanic chick and you cheat, dude, you're going to get your dick cut off. Your life is going to get fucked up. You're asking for fucking chaos. That's 100% fact. Chaos is coming your way. And you asked for it. Oh my God. All right. Let's see. I asked earlier if you guys want to call it. If y'all don't, that's fine. That's fine. I think I'll wrap up the stream here. Had some fun talking about this stuff. I think overall we kind of, explored issues with open marriage and all that. Had some fun talking about Destiny. Fun. I'm making a lot of friends with these streams, aren't I? Oh man, you notice the pattern. Talk about individuals here and there, and put in something that's related to them. Oh, yeah. Dick says, give them a few generations in America, they'll be swinging in no time. Could be. One thing that's... religion's pretty strong with them. With Hispanic culture. It's pretty strong. And that... I mean, yeah, there is a good chance that that they might break out from it. It depends on how well they integrate, or if they throw their religion aside or traditions aside or whatever. I don't know. That part gets weird. But if I was a betting man, and the question was, and the bet was, would Hispanic culture get more open over time? I'm sure, yeah. But how long are we talking about? Anyway, you guys, ladies, thank you so much for watching. You guys have a good one. Someone said Gator hate. Fuck Gator. Dude's an insult. Loser fuck. Oh. Pterodactyl and Ethan Ralph. You guys are hilarious. Oh, God. Ethan Ralph. You know what? Ethan Ralph's in the chat, right? Because I'm gun guard. I'm gun guard for life. Okay? I've been exposed. Gun guard for life from secret. I gave PPP's personal data to Ethan Ralph. Okay, I'm the guy. I'm the rat. No, that's a lie. That's a lie. Anyway, I'll wrap up now. You guys take it easy. Have a good one.